Welcome to Diary of a Disabled. I'm not poor enough. I'm not poor enough to get caretaker hours or caretaker at all through Northwest Senior Disability Services because I make too much money. I'm not allowed to make more than or have more than $2,000 in assets, and I own a trailer, which is worth more than that. And if I didn't get my VA disability, then I would be eligible, I believe, for my income. But I'm already disqualified, one, because of my trailer, and number two, because I get VA disability and Social Security disability. So I don't get any caretaker help. I'm not allowed to get a caretaker because I'm not poor enough. But yet I have to spend anywhere between $1,200 and $5,000 for one of my medications. I had to pay $350 for my procedure, for my colonoscopy, endoscopy procedure that I need to save up for this month. I pay at least $300 in my compounded medications from a special pharmacy every month. I'm just destroyed. That the middle class is screwed over by getting any help for being disabled at a young age. But I make too much money to get help. I guess I'm just made of money, and I am going to have to just pay all my money out to all my medicine, and I don't have any money to do anything fun other than my video games at home. Like, this is so discouraging for people to even ask or want to get help. Why ask for help when I make too much money? It's horrible to have chronic sickness and try not to be stressed out about money and bills. I've racked up a little bit of debt over the last few months. Really hoping that I would get approved for caretaker hours. So now I gotta pull up my big girl pants. My skirt. Can't even see it really. I'm gonna have to pull up my big girl pants and have to go deal with the VA's BS and go apply for caretaker stuff through the VA now. That was my plan B. I wanted to start with the state first, and well, the state just disqualifies me for everything. I had to move to Washington in order to get housing assistance when I was not making 100% disability on my VA. I was only 90%, and it was like the jump from 90 to 100% was like double almost of what I was making at 90%. Like, it like jumps quite significantly that last 10%. It was only like $1,200 for 90%, and then like at 100% at the time it was like at like 3,000. I mean, it just is ridiculous how crazy of a jump it goes from 90 to 100%. But it absolutely got me out of being able to be eligible for housing after I got my 100%. So somebody that is on 100% fixed income, VA disability for serving their country for 9 years, and then getting Social Security disability, it disqualifies me from getting extra help because I make too much money. The middle class gets screwed every time. I'm a little emotional, so I'm still trying to process this information this morning that I'm denied. It's crappy. I have COVID right now. I was about to retest to see if because I see my primary care doctor tomorrow, and I'm gonna message my chiropractor and see what he says. But I'm pretty sure I don't want to. I mean, I do want to go to my chiropractor, but I'm pretty sure I shouldn't go due to the vulnerable population of patients that they treat and themselves. There's only one of them, and he can't be taken out of his chiropractic position again with a medical reason. They've been having a hard time catching up from the last time that he was out with some medical issues for over a month. I can't risk exposing them to my COVID. I really don't want to risk my primary care doctor either, because I care about him, and I like him, and I don't want to see him get COVID. But I will definitely do all the protocol of whatever they request of me tomorrow. Because I guess after 5 days here in Oregon, you're allowed to go to doctors and do whatever, conduct business 5 days after the onset of symptoms. I tell you what, today is day number 5 for me, and I am starting to feel like it's starting to kind of start shedding. I feel like it's finally, I've hit the worst of it. I had major night sweats for 3 nights in a row. Well, 2 nights in a row, and then last night it was a lot less. And so I'm also taking less medication to try and help my body's natural processes fight it off without medication. I just want to get off all this medication if I could, because I don't want to pay for it. For one, it's expensive. But number 2, I'm freaking tired. I'm exhausted. I'm just so tired of having to fight for every little thing for help. It is so hard to do on my own. Only support can do so much with getting anything accomplished for me. I have to do it myself. And when I don't feel good, or if I'm mentally struggling with something or trying to process something like I am trying to process today, I'm probably going to be quite pissed off for about a week or so about this. Because now I have to deal with fighting the VA for their caretaking services, which are probably honestly going to be better because it's federally funded and it's a federal program. But I just don't know how to go through all those steps. The VA is so hard to navigate. I think the state is worse with their requirements, but I just got to try and wrap my mind around how much more research I'm going to have to do, and how much more phone calls and people are going to be passing the buck and saying, we don't deal with this, we need that, we need authorization. I'm so behind on all my paperwork already. I can't even begin to think about trying to apply for caretaking with the VA right now. I'm just overwhelmed with everything else, just trying to stay alive and survive through COVID and all my other sicknesses I deal with regularly. So yeah, thanks for being here for me, guys, and let me vent my frustration about this issue. I'm not poor enough for my state to help. One more reason why I would love to get out of the state. I love my state. I think it's a beautiful state. Don't get me wrong. I don't like the politics of any state. I don't like any of the politics, period. And these policies are ridiculous. For somebody that, I feel like the middle class just gets so screwed no matter what. It's either, it's not just rich and poor. What does a girl do that gets so much money but then ends up spending all her money on all her medical stuff every month? And not having any real money to really pay off debt or take care of necessities for my dog, vet bills and groceries and pet food and gosh, I'm not allowed to have any money for fun. I'm seriously getting paid to pay all my medical expenses with my disabilities. my disability pay goes to all my disability symptoms and treatments. It's hard being chronically sick and then balancing a budget and then trying to balance life, doctor appointment schedules, and friends, and then being sick, and then canceling plans because I'm sick and contagious. Oh, I really gotta blow my nose. Oh, I feel so much better. That was rough. But I just wanted to say that thank you all for being here for me and listening. I really enjoy getting my content out to you guys. As much as I dread sitting here, it's good to be up and about a little bit more with my COVID. I forgot what I was going to say. I lost my whole train of thought. I thought I was recording, and then I wasn't, and then I hit record, and then I just was thrown off. So anyways, I hope you all have a good day. I am going to go and try and do some hobbies to distract myself a little bit to help me slowly process this new denial. I'm too rich, and I'm not poor enough in order to get caretaker hours. They should have just disqualified me to begin with before they even did the medical assessment. That put me in a trigger and anxiety attack for a couple weeks. Now I know what an assessment's like, though, so I mean, I don't regret it, but at the same time, I want to move on, and now I have to go do all the same stuff for the VA and figure out how to use the VA system. I mean, I'm really good at persuasive writing and technical writing to get what I need. I've had to do it before. I don't have, it's the brain fog, it's the fatigue, it's the symptoms that are so problematic to have to sit in one spot. I mean, I even have problems posting my videos sometimes. It's because of all the hashtags and the description, but it really helps me get my content out to you guys so I can hopefully inspire others to keep going. Don't give up. I mean, my goal was to, not have to deal with the VA and just get qualified for caretaking hours with the state. But the state's cap, it makes me really just want to move. I just don't like any of the politics anymore. My state's so beautiful, though. The outdoors are so beautiful out here. And I need to spend more time outdoors. Especially once this COVID is over with. And this head pain, is starting to come back. I'm starting to get a headache because I'm stressed, because I'm processing and thinking about all the headache I'm going to have to deal with trying to get help for caretaking through the VA. It's all in who you know, and having a good social worker that knows the ins and outs of the VA would really be beneficial for me to have right now. And I used to have that when I lived in Washington, when I was getting HUD bashed through the VA for rental assistance, because I wasn't quite my 100% yet at the time. The guy the social worker I had, amazing. He was the best employee through the VA. I mean, I've run into a lot of great employees at the VA. I've ran into a lot of D-bags, on the other hand. Also, more D-bags than nice people and helpful people at the VA. To some, it's just a job, but for others, it's a passion. And the people that are passionate about their job and helping veterans, freaking kudos. Thank you. But the ones that don't, they're very counterproductive, and they are one that likes to just be miserable and pass the buck off to somebody else and don't want to deal with the veterans and deal with the attitude that veterans throw the employees because, well, employees' hands are tied behind their backs because of policy and federal jurisdiction and crap. I am very passionate about that. I'm very passionate about spreading information about the wrongdoings of the things I've experienced and heard and seen through the VA. The politics are horrendous. The policies are freaking ridiculous. But that's what it's like having a federal budget
to budget, which I did when I was in the military. I had to write all kind of technical writing reports about our finances and our usage of what we spend our money on and how we save money, which we don't push to save money. We push to save until the very last quarter and then spend last quarter so we can justify getting the same amount, if not more, than the following year. That's how corrupt our government likes to budget. It likes to spend money it does not have, or it likes to try and say that they're saving money, and then they're like, okay, we saved enough all year, now we can just blow all through this money and buy all this excess stuff. Yeah, that's how the government works. That's how I was taught how to manage my federal budget on my ship for my parts and maintenance, because I was the work center supervisor in charge of the maintenance schedule and budget and repair parts I had to order. And I had to get a lot of training for that. And yeah, this is why I also don't like to follow politics or watch any of the news, especially national news, because I know of the inner workings of the government and how they budget stuff. And it drives me absolutely bonkers of how I was taught how to manage the budget. And also, I've worked for being a federal employee as well outside of the military, and I too have also seen how those budgets are ran, and they are pretty much the same way. Save money, save money, save money, and then blow it all at the very end of the quarter so you can justify writing up technically for more money the following year, because you're like, oh, we did such a good job with our budget this year. Look how much excess we have at the end. Yeah. It's very frustrating. So I guess today is Diary of a not just dash cam because it's not in my car, but today is Disgruntled Veteran. I'm a disabled disgruntled veteran today because I'm going to have to be disgruntled in order to deal with the VA again. Because that's what it takes for me to deal with the VA, is getting so disgruntled and pissed off and fed up with all the other BS and politics behind policies that don't really help people in my situation. And I know I'm not the only one out there with this situation. I'm not saying it's just my issue. It's so many other people's issues. But I'm just letting y'all be aware. Yeah. Things are just never justified. But I try my best to keep a smile on my face and keep moving forward. I always have like plan A, B, C, and D, F. I don't know what I'm going to do when the VA, if I end up getting no caretaking through the VA too. I'm going to be so much more jaded. But I honestly feel like I'll have a better chance of getting help through the VA because of their federal policy, and they have a bigger budget than the states do. But it just takes that much more work in order to get it. And I know what it takes to get it. And that's what is just so overwhelming to me, is because I already know what's ahead of me. And it makes me that much more resilient to not want to deal with it, because I already know what I'm going to be dealing with. It's not the fear of the unknown that's preventing me from doing it. It's the fear of what I already know. It's what I already know that bothers me. That prevents me from doing certain things. Because I already know. I can predict so much. History repeats itself. But that's also why there's PTSD in the world, because things repeat itself. So, I'm going to go. That's my 20-minute mark. And a lot of people don't even watch all these 20-minute videos. They like to watch like 10 minutes or less videos. But thank you all for listening and standing by. I love you all. I'm going to continue moving forward. And I'm going to start pulling my big girl pants up. And I'm going to embrace the suck, and I'm going to start slowly getting all my paperwork done one day at a time. I'm going to keep forging ahead with my phone calls and doing what I need to do, probably in the very last minute because of my ADHD and my procrastination factors. But yeah, I got this. As well as all of you got this. If I can deal with all of this, I know you guys are dealing with a lot of stuff too. So just keep being positive, keep moving forward. Don't stop what you're doing. Nothing ever happens if you give up. I'm never going to give up on myself. I'm going to keep moving, and it's at a snail's pace. It's a lot slower than I want to move, but at least I'm moving, and that's what matters, and that's what I'm thankful for, to be alive. So life is a gift. Life is precious. Life is short. Tell those that you love them before it's too late. When you know, spread the love, spread kindness, be kind, and be free.